You are now live, it says, so I must be live. Okay, I'm live at the moment on Facebook, on the live video with Stephen, and on my profile. Hello, if you're watching live. I just want to shrink something. Just give me a second. We're still doing preparations here, and I just want to apply that. And hopefully when I press apply, it will shrink. Okay, you're looking at my desktop, and some of the items we're actually going to be talking about in the broadcast. And I'm just going over to my iPad and clicking the button to go live on Amazon Live. This is a marketing broadcast on Amazon Live being relayed to YouTube, Facebook, and my website. And as soon as we're live on Amazon Live, I will appear. Well, just want to check something. Just give me a second. I'm here. You can see that I'm here. Just bear with me a minute. Okay, and I can go there, and I can go there, and that's answered one of my questions. So I had a query, and the query was, because if you saw yesterday's show, I actually showed the Amazon carousel on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time as I was showing the carousel on Amazon. And that means that I'm working from Be Live today. Let's go here. So I'm broadcasting from Be Live that way. Okay. And my phone is going off telling me I'm live on Facebook. So hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. And the carousel is coming because of Be Live, because I'm on Be Live. The carousel is coming from Amazon into my studio, and I can show it on screen. I can give you an example. Okay, that's probably a great place to start. I'm going to bring this full screen. So that is the first item in my carousel on Amazon Live. And if I go here, switch my camera on and take that off full screen. Right, okay. Down below is Logitech, down below is the Oswald Tiny camera. Over there is my new Fitbit. Bottom right is the card. Let's look at the card. So this is Lights, Camera, Action with Stephen, broadcasting from Be Live. And you can see we're going to be talking about webcams, microphones, audio gear, live video. And of course, because I've just shown it to you, you know we're also going to look at Fitbits. So I can hide that card now. So that's the show card. And thank you to Angelica for the photograph. Right. Now, I don't need this camera yet. We'll use it when I'm doing a demonstration. So, as I was saying yesterday, I can bring in from Amazon Live, I can bring in the carousel and I can show it on screen. So the first item in the carousel, theoretically, I'm not sure about this. Well, just a minute. Nope. Right, okay. And we've got different prices. Just a minute. That might be the wrong carousel. Just let me sort myself out a minute. Just hide that. And let's go into live sales again and go here and bring that on screen, because what I don't want to do, it would be foolish of me. I'm going to zap that one and show this one. Let's just get this straightened out. Okay, so we're going to show this on screen, and 133.80. It agrees. Whew. Thank goodness for that. Let's just check the second item. And the second item is $269. Okay. This is always going to be a problem. That if I show you the wrong carousel, I'm going to show you the wrong prices. That will never do. So after this broadcast, I'm going to talk to my good friends at Be Live. I work for Be Live, by the way. So I'm going to talk to my friends at Be Live and see if we can do anything about it. And we've got a comment coming in. So comment is from Jafar. Hello, nice to see you. Thank you for joining me. And I'm also joined by Mr. Nick Wood from the wonderful Farnham in Wiltshire, Farnborough, which is not in Wiltshire. It's in the south. Nick and I live about 90 minutes away from each other. Over the gang are here. We also, Nick and I broadcast together on Mondays, 11 a.m. Eastern. And say hello to Mr. Grant Saunders. See, you both got Mr. Hello, good sir. Nick and Grant are fellow broadcasters on Belive and have their own shows Tuesday through Friday. And as I say, Nick and I actually broadcast together. So they're now saying hello to each other, probably. Hampshire, thank you. Okay, my geography knowledge is not good. I took German at school. I learned German, so my geography is not as good as it was. And we say hello to Chris. And Chris is here saying hello from Belgium. And Chris, it's great to see you. So we have Jafar. We have Nick. We have Mr. Jim Ziegler. Jim is here. Of course I'm here. Of course. that went well together, Jim. That went well. Jim is in Atlanta, Georgia. Nick is definitely in Hampshire. Grant is in Yorkshire, and that's where Yorkshire tea comes from, and probably the best beer in the world. I'm not saying which brewery though, Grant, forgive me for that. And Chris is from Belgium, who, amongst other things, do the best chocolates in the world. And Grant is saying Yorkshire. Yeah, indeed. Indeed, I know that because I'm from Lancashire. Yeah, we fought a war between Lancashire and Yorkshire, but that's a long time ago. We now tend to get on, which is perhaps as well. Okay, so we've established I've got the right carousel. So if I go back on the carousel, the first item that I'm showing is Logitech Brio camera, and it's 133.80 down here, and it's 133.80 on the carousel on Amazon. This is a good start. Okay, so we're in sync. We will stay in sync now. Just a note to Nick and Grant, when you start your second show with the carousel coming in, just check you pick the right carousel, because you've got 2 carousels in your shop now. And the way I've just done that is to check the first item on my list on the carousel on Amazon with my list in the studio, and they both agree and they both got the right price on. Okay, because the thing about it is that Amazon prices change, and what I'm showing you in the carousel on Amazon now is the latest prices. Now, on some of the items there will be a discount, and on this item, which is Logitech Brio, there is today an 11% discount. It's 133.80, and I now can see that comments are actually working on Amazon Live too. If you like Nick and Grant, you want to say where you're from, that would be good. If you want to make a comment, please do. Now, I've just written a piece. Just before we actually start real, I've just written a piece. If I go here, right, I've just written a piece which is about following. Okay, basically, it's to as an Amazon broadcaster, and there are over 2,000 of us, and you've seen the ones from Belive at the moment. You've seen Grant and you've seen Nick, and another friend of mine has actually joined in. Just a minute, John. Following is important, because if you follow someone, you're actually building your own Amazon Live TV channel. There are over 2,000 Amazon Live broadcasters. We are all independent. We all enjoy being here. In fact, there are, let's get it right, 6 Amazon Live broadcasters from England, and you've just met 3 of them. Yeah, okay. If you're enjoying Rorschach, please follow, because that's a win-win situation. It means that I go onto a list of broadcasters that you're following. In addition to that, you can catch my shows anytime. I don't get your details. They stay with Amazon. But it helps us, because in Amazon's eyes, the more followers we have, then obviously the better we're doing. Okay. So I've written a piece about following. So expect to see that icon several times during today's show, because if you're going to write something, then you've got to practice it. So I'm practicing what I preached earlier today. And we say hello to Mr. John Upton from Solihull. Okay, yes, I know you from Solihull. John and I will be live tomorrow at 5 a.m. Eastern with Blabbing for Britain, episode 329, I think. Or 300, I've lost count, John. Is it 339? I don't know. I have to check what last week's was. Anyway, I want to say a big thank you for, oh, wait a minute, and over to Grant. And Grant is saying, hit that follow button and stay up to date when Stephen goes live. Thank you. Grant and Nick, if you're watching, please drop your link in as well. And you can follow the Three Brits, not the Three Musketeers, the Three Brits on Amazon Live, because we all broadcast regularly, we all broadcast on Be Live, and we all have, well, we enjoy broadcasting. Hopefully that comes across in every single broadcast we do. And the thing is that we are live broadcasting outside Amazon. We've all done between us thousands of broadcasts, and we know everything. Well, we know almost everything about live broadcasting, about cameras, about microphones, about green screens. If you've got any questions, then please do ask. We are available to answer your questions. And Nick, all you need to do to find Nick is to go to nickwood.live, and to follow Grant. This is a win-win situation. You just need to go to grantsaunders.live. I'm sure if I extended that, Grant, we're going to have a word about the length of these captions. And out to John, they're saying 339 tomorrow. Okay, John and I have been broadcasting together for 6.5 years, since the days of Blab, before Facebook Live, and it's episode 339 tomorrow. 6.5 years. How time flies. Yeah. Now, we don't expect you to get up at 5 a.m., but you can catch the replay. It's on my profile on Facebook, and my profile on Facebook. Just a minute. Let me switch the phone on, because we're going to be using the phone. That's me. That's my profile on Facebook. In fact, what I can do is go to the second camera, and there it is. That's my profile on Facebook, and it's actually showing now on the Samsung Galaxy S22 phone, which is down in the carousel. So back to me. And John was saying 339 tomorrow, and Grant is saying the Godfather of Live. I've got a logo somewhere for that. Hang on just a minute, because he said it. I mean, it's always nice when somebody says it first. If I take this off and put this on, now that's the wrong one. That doesn't work. I do have a Godfather of Live one somewhere. Okay, we'll just take that one for the moment. I haven't brought the Godfather of Live out yet. I do have the logo ready and prepared. And nice one, Grant, says Nick. And John is saying, and I'm the grandson. Yeah, not. I think, yeah, okay. John is saying he's the grandson of Live. So that's good. And over to Grant, there's a conversation going on. He can make you an offer, Amazon offer you can't refuse. That's good. That's an excellent byline. Thank you for that one, Grant. I'm going to copy that, and I may well use it in some of my live broadcasts. Wow. Okay. Thank you for watching an Amazon Live today. I do appreciate your time. If, like Grant and Nick, you've got basically, if you tell me, well, first of all, you should know that when you make a comment on Amazon Live, I can, as you can see, I can show it in my studio. If you're signed into Amazon, it will show your picture, like Grant's picture. Grant is a stage hypnotist. You'll probably be able to tell by the way his avatar is. Real life stage hypnotist as well. Global stage hypnotist. Wish I could say that, Grant. I'm going to have to practice. I can see. Okay, so if you comment, I can show your comment on screen. Yeah, and I can tell where you're actually commenting from, and go to Chris. So Chris is commenting from Facebook, but you can comment on Amazon Live, and I will show your comment on the screen. If you want to tell me where you're from, like John did, John's in Solihull, Grant's in Yorkshire, Nick's in Hampshire. Yeah, so we've got the UK covered, we've got Belgium covered. Okay, and I want to say a big thank you to Jafar and to Grant for actually liking this post on Facebook. So much going on in my studio today. Absolutely brilliant. Now, just to recap, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. The link to join me on Amazon Live, because there's nothing like an Amazon Live experience, is up above. If you click that link, you'll see what we're talking about. But we can give you a glimpse at the carousel. And the first item in the carousel today, if I get this right, is... Just a minute. It's that. It's the Logitech Brio camera. is the first item in the carousel today. So let's get started. Okay, because I'm here to tell my stories about products in the carousel. I'm here to share my knowledge and expertise with you if you wish. Other than that, I'm just here as a free resource on Amazon Live. If you click a link in the carousel, then it will take you to the standard Amazon.com page for that product. You're not buying it. You're doing further research. Your purchase is in the normal way. I'm just here to help, advise, guide. And if you comment, I'm here to listen as well and to answer questions. Okay, so what I need to do is just to go over here. And I just want to close a tab because that's taking, when you're broadcasting live, Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, switch everything else off. Yeah, because never watch yourself live unless you actually watch. I mean, I've got the phone set up. If we go here, and you can see my desktop, there's the phone, which we're going to be talking about. But if I go here and here, just a second, and scroll down, okay, in a few seconds, just back to me, Mr. Producer. Okay, there is the scene from Facebook, and I am live on Facebook, and hopefully that may catch up in a minute. Just a minute. Stop and play. Okay, it seems to be stuck on that screen. I don't know. Obviously, it's not, but never mind. Okay, so basically, if I go here and I go there, then that should change in a minute. But that is hopefully me live. Well, it says, well, hang on a minute. I know what's wrong. Okay, just bear with me a second. Okay, only take a second. And if I go down here, right, okay, that's better. Pointless. It is absolutely pointless watching yesterday's broadcast today, isn't it? So that is me live on Facebook, and you can see there's a slight delay, as there always is, but that's the quality of the display on the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. And I'm just blown away by the quality of the phone, and I'll be talking about that shortly. Right, so I'm going to put that back on its stand. It's on a Lamical stand, which is down in the carousel. All the items I'm talking about today are in the carousel. And just before we switch over, we've got the Logitech C920X, which I'll talk about. We've got that one is the Anker 4-way USB hub. That's an Echo Dot. TP-Link Deco. I'm actually using the TP-Link Deco Wi-Fi to broadcast at the moment. Behind that, hiding until I bring it out, are some Aftershokz headphones. Then some XR3 Pro headphones from Treblab. There's the Samsung, and underneath the Samsung is the Lamical stand, which takes larger phones, so iPhone 12, iPhone 13, and Galaxy 21 and 22, and that is an OBSBot, and we'll be talking about OBSBots next. But for the moment, I'm going to stay with the camera, and just forgive me for a moment. I can bring something else on screen, and let's just see what happens when I do this. Right, okay, that's not the one I want. Okay, what I want is this one. Okay, and if I go here, yeah, or even go here, this is probably better. Okay, we've got all the features of the Logitech Brio webcam, and if I just put that full screen, I'll show it later at the end of this presentation, but the Logitech Brio 4K webcam was released on February 7th, 2017. It is Ultra 4K HD, and it's capable of 4K, 1080p, and 720. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to go to me. You're actually watching a Logitech Brio now. I'm actually broadcasting using Logitech Brio. Now, I've had my Logitech Brio for 2 years. It's sat on top of my monitor, which is a BenQ monitor, 27-inch, down in the carousel. But the thing is about a camera, basically what you're looking for is a quality build, and this is by Logitech. The camera is by Logitech, who sold millions of cameras worldwide. And this is capable of 4K. Now, I'm broadcasting to you in 720, okay, which is DVD quality. So it's this good quality, it's what we watch DVDs on. Then there's 1080, which is high definition. So that's better quality than 720. Then when you get to 4K, which is somewhere up there, you're getting best quality we as consumers can get. So this is the best quality you can get on a camera. And the Logitech Brio is one of the first cameras to actually have 4K. Now, I can't broadcast to you in 4K, but I can broadcast to YouTube in 4K. If you get this camera today, it is 4K, and you can find, because I was curious, I thought, what's all the fuss about 4K? Why is it so important? So I went out and I bought Logitech Brio. And basically, it is stunning, because if you take OBS, broadcasting software on your desktop, you add the camera out the box, it will work straight away. Then you set your destination to YouTube. And finally, you set the resolution to 4K. And you can broadcast out to YouTube in 4K from your desktop. You can record in 4K. If you broadcast out to YouTube in 4K, then people can watch you in 4K. And the difference is night and day. When you put a 4K video next to a 720 video, you can immediately tell the difference, because the higher the number, the greater the number of pixels being transmitted over the internet, the better the quality of the picture. Now, 720 is very kind, because 720 is 4K is everything. You can't hide on a 4K camera. So now is the time to actually get your act together, get a 4K camera, get to know all about it and practice. Yeah. So that you're 4K ready. Now, speaking to the tech staff at Brio, technology wise, it's not a problem. Broadcasting in 4K, technology wise, is not a problem. From the software house's point of view, they can handle 4K. The thing at the moment is the browser and the internet need to catch up. We need ninja speeds on the internet and on our browsers. And it's going to happen. We will be able to broadcast in 4K down the road. For the moment, we can just broadcast to YouTube. Yeah. But down the road, we'll be able to broadcast in 4K everywhere. It become the standard. And we'll think, do you remember the day? Well, do you remember days when we broadcast in black and white? Or in 360? Never mind 720. We used to broadcast in 360. So you can get a very high quality 4K picture. I'm just going to go through a few of the points about the camera. Now, I do write everything down, so I don't forget to tell you anything. That's the way I work. Okay, and I've got a couple of comments which I'm going to come to. That's the way I work. I write everything down. So I'm going to show you in about 3 or 4 minutes time the software that actually controls. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yep, I'm still live. Okay, I got the comments. Let's just take the comments and I'll carry on. So let's wind back. It can make you an Amazon offer you can't refuse, to which Jim replied, okay, I'm on Amazon Live. Thank you, Jim. Excellent. Okay, it's a totally different experience because you can see the item down in the carousel. You can see all the comments that people are making. Over to Nick, and Nick is saying, hello to Jim. See, people know each other. Absolutely brilliant when people network when you're broadcasting live. Hello, Nick. Good to see you on Stephen's broadcast here. Brilliant. And then over to Guy. And Guy's also in the States. S22 Ultra questions. My Google Maps app stopped talking. Still shows the map, but no voice saying turn right, etc. Mine was working the other day. Well, two things. One, I can empathize when a piece of software stops working and we've not done anything. The only thing I can suggest is to basically uninstall it and reinstall it. That will clear out the cache, it will clear out the program, clear out all the settings. So my suggestion, which is not harmful to you or the computer, is to actually uninstall and reinstall. And you should get a clean install from that. You're most welcome, Guy. And let me know how you get on. Okay. So you're watching the Logitech Brio camera. Just to confirm that, this is a Logitech Brio 4K webcam. It is just a moment. Got a comment from Chris. Just a minute. And Chris is saying, Hello from Belgium, Jim and Nick. So everybody's talking to each other. Brilliant. Okay, so let's back on. It's Ultra 4K HD. Basically, it is very high quality. It is 720, 1080 and 4K. So this camera is at the top of the range. It's got a noise cancelling microphone. This is important. And I'm using noise cancellation today. I always do. I never broadcast live on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch without noise cancellation. I'll tell you why. If you are in the UK, it's been hot recently. Now, when I say hot, I mean UK hot. It's between 70 and 95 degrees Fahrenheit. And we don't have aircon. We don't do aircon. And about 5% of properties in the UK have aircon. So the only way you can sort of relieve the pressure is to actually open the window. And if you open the window, you can hear all the noises outside. And my neighbour opened his window, his bathroom window, and he's fitting a new bathroom. So he was drilling, sawing, banging, and making all sorts of noise whilst I was live. I was broadcasting Amazon Live. But because I had the noise cancelling on, everybody who watched those shows didn't know a thing about it. And I didn't mention it. Well, after the first couple of days, I stopped mentioning it because it went on for 2 weeks. But noise cancelling cuts out any extra noises. And that's important because if you're on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and your dog barks, okay, barks once, not a problem. Starts barking to get your attention, then that's going out on the Zoom call. That's going out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And what do people do? They mute you. The unfortunate thing is they might not unmute you. So there are risks to not having a noise cancelling microphone. If you've got a noise cancelling microphone, if the dog barks, nobody will hear it apart from you. Brio's got HD light auto correction. If I go here, well, I've got a light on. I've got Logitech Litra Glow light, and I think I'm right in saying Chris has got a Logitech Litra Glow light. Jim, as we'll see later, has got a Logitech Litra Glow light. Nick Wood, I think, has got a Logitech Litra Glow light. Okay, I'm going to switch it off. Okay, so I'm going to switch the light off. And what happens is I've gone darker, but you can still see me because the camera is compensating. Yeah, so I have no lights on at all at the moment, and the camera is actually compensating. So I'm going to switch the light back on because I'm more comfortable when the light is back on. Okay, 2 minutes, I'll show you some software. It's got a wide field of view. Here comes the Samsung Galaxy S22 again. The Brio has a 90-degree field of view, which is that angle, yeah, and it can see in an arc from that corner. So that's how wide it can see. Now you can adjust it so it's 78 or 65 degrees. I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show why it's important as well. If you've not heard already, the Brio has 4 times the resolution of a typical HD webcam. It's 4K. The auto light correction that I just showed you a moment ago is proprietary and it's called Right Light. And Jim's just said hello to Chris. So conversation going on. Brilliant. Okay. It's got 3 fields. The camera that you're looking at now, which is Logitech Brio, has 3 fields of view. Yeah. And that means that, well, the thing is, every time you buy a camera or a microphone or anything electrical, there's always software to go with it. And you wouldn't see me like this sat in front of a brick wall if I hadn't downloaded a piece of software which is called Logitech Capture. Now, Logitech Capture controls my Brio, the C920, 922, 925, 930, C270. In fact, quite a few of the cameras from Logitech. So whatever Logitech camera you've got, apart from the Mevo, Nick's got a Mevo, but he's got his own software from Mevo. If you're just an ordinary Logitech person, then you download Logitech Capture. Just go to logitech.com, type in Logitech Capture in the search box, and that's it. And when you download it, you install it, and you'll be able to do whizzy things like this. And over to Jim. And Jim is saying, I hope this, yes, I do use the Ultra Glow light and love that product, Stephen. It adjusts skin tones and takes shadows out of my eyes under the brim of my hat. Also, Ultra Glow reduces or eliminates virtual background bleeding throughout when I use it. Stunning recommendation for the Ultra Glow light, which we'll show in a moment. And I might even show Jim's video because Jim's here. Okay, we might go to the light next, Jim. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and let's go over here and hopefully I've gone to the right place. Yeah, I've gone to share. I'm going to share a window and this is, I'm going to bring it up on screen. This is the software. Yeah. Now, if I go full screen and product features, let's just have a quick look and a recap. If I put that full screen, Logitech Brio webcam, Ultra 4K HD, which is 4K 1080p 720p, HD auto light correction, noise cancelling, a wide field of view. It's got 3 presets, 90 degrees, 78 and 65. I'm going to show you those. 4 times the resolution of a typical HD webcam. It's got versatile mounting options. And we are talking now about default camera settings and Logitech Capture. So that card is pretty accurate. Okay, so there it is down in the carousel. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about Logitech Brio, and you can see it on Facebook and YouTube, thanks to the fact that I'm broadcasting on BeLive. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hide that for a moment. Just hide it. And we've now got on screen the software and me. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a slight change. Just forgive me for a moment. I just need to change my set and do this. Because what I want to do, I press apply. I want to go wide view. So you can see me on the Brio. Let's just confirm that. Okay, so I'm on Logitech Brio and the software on the right-hand side of me is Logitech Capture. Okay, I'm going to control the software that's on my desktop. Using the software, I can go down. Yeah, so one movement down, I can go back up again. I can go left and I can go right. Now, this is all about feeling comfortable on camera. You should try and have headroom. You should try and be in the center of the screen. It looks better. It's presentation-wise on a Zoom call, especially a business Zoom call. It looks better if you're in the center of the screen and you've got headroom. Come back to that in a minute. Okay, so the movement, we've got up and down, left and right. Next to that is the zoom. And what I'm going to do now is I'm zoomed in. And I'm going to switch now to the camera default. When you take the camera out of the box, you will look like 1, 2, 3. You will look like this. Now, there is nothing at all wrong with looking like this, but these are, if I go down here, I'm just trying to, yeah, these are the camera's default settings. Okay, so if you do nothing, then you will look like this on camera. There's no zoom, there's no going left or right, there's no going up and down. This is just as it comes out of the box, and you can see the books over there in my bookshelf, and you can see the Samsung Galaxy all-in-one piece, Samsung all-in-one PC. I wish they still built those, but no more. And behind me, you can see the backdrop and the T-stand, which are both down in the carousel. Everything you can see, apart from the Samsung, which is 6 years old, is down in the carousel. Now, this is good. I mean, looking like this is fine, but we can do better. And if I zoom in once, twice, and go to 78 degrees, yeah, this is how I want to look on camera. Okay, I'm going to set a logo off because you know I am by now. This is how I want to look on camera. I want to be reasonably in the center of the screen. I want to have headroom and I want a backdrop behind me. Now, the purpose of a backdrop, okay, let's just highlight this. First of all, we're very lucky. I'll zoom out again. We are extremely lucky that photographers have been using photography backdrops for years. There are literally thousands on Amazon to choose from. And I've got some down in the carousel that you can take a look at. But we're fortunate because we can use what's been developed for a different market in the mobile market. Okay, and the final thing I'm going to do with the software is I'm going to go to 65 degrees, and I look too big. So my preferred setting is to be at 78 degrees. I can change the brightness. Okay, let's just go side by side again. I can also change the brightness, just zoom up, zoom down, but always come back to 50, as close as you can get whilst you're broadcasting live. I can change the color intensity. I can change the auto white balance. Now, the auto white balance, sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't. Okay, and it's a question of personal choice. Okay, so there we have it. I can stop sharing that now, which is good. That is the Logitech Brio, which is down the carousel today. It's on discount. It's 11% off. It's 133.80, and I think we can see that if I bring this back on screen. Just try to find it. Okay. And take that off. 133.80 today. This is Logitech Brio that we've been talking about. The camera was released February 27th, 2017. So it is a relatively recent model. It's also been updated since then. The software I was talking about is Logitech Capture. I've shown you the camera's default settings, and that's about it, really. I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. So that was the Logitech Brio. Now, next thing I'm going to go on to, because Jim mentioned it, and I want to say thank you to Jim, is I'm going to go here and I'm going to find you. Just a minute. I wonder where I put it. I think I put it somewhere. Let's just flick through. I can take this as down in the carousel. You will see the OBSBot, which we're going to look at in a few moments. The Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, the DJI OM5 gimbal, because I love taking mobile video. We're going to look at the Logitech C920X, which is a great first camera. Okay, it is a brilliant camera if you're starting out. We're going to look at all these. Then we're going to look at the OBSBot original. I've got two OBSBots. And then the microphone you're listening to now is the Elgato Wave 3. It is down in the carousel. And I'm just now looking. It's got a very rich sound, doesn't it? It's a high quality microphone from Elgato. We know Elgato from the Stream Deck. I'm just going to highlight it because I mentioned it. I'm just going to highlight it in the carousel. So on our way through, we're talking about the Elgato Wave 3 microphone. I can show it to you. Just a minute. Okay, this is the Elgato Wave 3 microphone down in the carousel. And if I bring it over here, I can show it to you here. And if I go backwards, hopefully this will work. Okay, if I go backwards, there is the microphone. Apologies for any distortion in sound, but it is a quality microphone. You're listening to it, and there's no better way to decide which microphone you like than to actually listen to it. And as there are over 2,000 broadcasters on Amazon Live, you can listen to hundreds of different microphones. Yeah. Just bear that in mind. But my choice, obviously, is with the Elgato Wave 3. And just a note, it's $149.95. Now, I'm just on my way. I mentioned lighting a moment ago, and Jim mentioned lighting. And so what we're actually going to do is we're going to tell you, hopefully, I've hidden it, Jim. If you find it before me, can you tell me where it is in the carousel? I've actually, Guy, thank you. All right, I found it. Okay, now we're going to have to zap through. Whilst I'm zapping through, we've got a comment from Guy, which I'll take. So just let me zap through. And I'm just zapping through so you don't have to sit through all this. I'm zapping through so I actually get to the one that I'm looking for, and I can show it on screen in a minute. Just a minute, we'll get there. We're getting closer. I can feel it. Nope. 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 All is now revealed. We're now talking about the Logitech Litra Glow light that I mentioned earlier with Jim. It's $59.99. It is down in the carousel. It's the featured item on the screen and in the carousel. Now, the important, just take Guy's comment and then I'll crack on. Okay, guys, saying reinstall the map on TS22. An update was available. It's fixed it. Let's hope. Fingers crossed, Guy. Thanks for the update. Guy was having problems with sound on Google Maps. It disappeared. So he's now reinstalled maps on TS22 and got the update as well. So hopefully that has cured it. Thank you, Guy. Okay, so next to you is next to me is the light. Okay, and we're going to do two things here. If I just go over here, just forgive me for a moment. I'm going to come back. Don't panic. That's my job. Okay, this is Logitech Litra Glow light. When you get it, you have cellophane around the back and cellophane on the base. Just take that off and recycle it. Now, this is the first light that Logitech have produced. I was watching a live broadcast with Marco Novo, and he had a guest, and the guest was Daniel Ziegler from Logitech. And Daniel was actually demonstrating the Logitech Litra Glow light. And I looked at it and I thought, that's exactly what I need. So straight after watching Marco's show, Marco broadcasts from Portugal. He's one of our gang. Yep. And Daniel told us all about the light. And I thought, well, I'm going to get one. So I did. In fact, I actually got two. So this is Logitech Litra Glow light. Its official title is the Logitech Litra Glow Premium LED Streaming Light. It uses TrueSoft, which is proprietary to Logitech, and it's got an adjustable monitor mount. So let's go with that. You can bend the mount forward, okay? You can turn it sideways either way, okay? You can extend it. You can bring it back down again. You attach it to your monitor using the shelf there. It just goes over the back of your monitor, and I've got one shining down at me at the moment. If I switch it off, you'll tell the difference, hopefully. If I switch the light off, yeah, I've gone darker. I'm going to switch it back on. Okay, so you can tell the difference. It has brightness and color temperature settings. Physically, you've got the on-off button in the center, and then you've got the brightness and temperature either side of that. You can control it like that, but it's got software. It's desktop app. Desktop app I've got, and I will use it in a moment. It's got natural skin tones and a radiant look. Now, natural skin tones, if I go and look in the mirror now, I do look like this. This is generally a good representation of me. Radiant skin, well, I think, well, you can decide on that. Now, this light was built for gamers, and as such, it is safe to use 24 hours a day. So it's on a 2-hour Amazon live broadcast, it's totally safe. I mean, gamers broadcast for 8 to 10 hours at a time, don't they? So this is totally safe for all day streaming. It doesn't get hot, or not overly hot. It's got freedom of light placement. Now you can take the light off this stand and you can put it onto a tripod. So you could take the light off and position the light on a tripod like that, okay? Because it's got the thread in the bottom. And it does use Logitech's free desktop app. Now, when you receive a recommendation and a testimonial all wrapped up in one, and you are not expecting it, then that is one of the magical moments. I would like you to meet Mr. Jim Ziegler of Atlanta, Georgia, who is, well, to say he's well known in the motor world would be an understatement. But this is Jim, and Jim is talking about this light. I'm going to switch my mic off. I'll be back in 2.
Dog. If you don't know me, I'm Jim Ziegler. I'm 75 years old. I'm an internet millionaire. 75 years old. Lifetime Achievement Awards behind me. I want to give a shout out to my good friend Stephen Healy. Now, Stephen Healy is a friend of mine in the UK. I've known him for about 15 years. I met him on social media. We've never shaken hands, but he's a great friend, and he's been a mentor to me in all things technical. Now, I think of Stephen Healy as Mr. Gadget, the gadget guy. He's got stuff that is incredible. Now, I do a lot of work on social media. I make my money on social media. I've got 150,000 friends and followers. So when I'm on social media and I'm using a camera and I'm using these devices, I have relied heavily on Stephen Healy. And recently, Stephen says, Jim, your lighting isn't right. Well, it's kind of hard to get lighting. And like I say, I'm not technological by nature. So he suggested that I get the Logitech Ultra Light. Logitech Ultra Light, Ultra Glow. Look at this thing. Here it is. I just bought it. I'm using it right now. And one thing about the Ultra Glow is it takes all the shadows. I always wear a hat. And since I wear a hat, my eyes are always dark. Right now, you can see my full facial features. The background is clear. And the cool thing about the ultralight that Stephen didn't say is if you use a virtual background, it doesn't distort. One of the problems with the virtual background is you get distortion because the lighting doesn't pick it up. Guess what? I can use a virtual background that I use in my business and it doesn't distort. I love that. So this is just a shout out to my good friend in the UK, Stephen Healy. And Stephen is representing Amazon with a lot of great projects, products, and gadgets. The guy's incredible. So anyway, this is Jim Ziegler. I'm talking about, I just purchased the Ultra Glow Logitech that Stephen had recommended on LinkedIn and some of the social media that I'm on. So anyway, shout out to my good friend Stephen Healy. Watch what he's selling. He's got some great gadgets, some stuff that'll help you.
So a big thank you to Jim for, well, it was unexpected. It came out of the blue. I was blown away by it. And Jim bought the light after he'd seen it, and I got the light now. If you are a live streamer, or including Zoom in that, then this is one light. I mean, if we look at it, it's only 3 inches by 3 inches. It goes on the top of your monitor like that. You plug it in and you can then use software to control it. If I go here and I share my desktop with you, just let me find the right place. And I'm going to show you the software that controls the light, because this is, well, first of all, Logitech have been very, very clever. This is the software, which I'm going to show you now. Okay. So this is, oh, wait a minute, that's the wrong one. Oh, yeah, no, no, let me panic. Oh dear. Right, no, I think I've got it right. Okay. This is the software for Logitech Ultra Glow. So a big thank you to Jim. And that's the light we're actually looking at. And It's down the carousel. It's $59.99 today, and you just need one of these. But the thing is, I've got the software on my desktop, and the software itself comes with 6 presets. So what I can do with the software, which you download from logitech.com, is I can switch the lighting off. So I go darker. So that's the first thing you can do. That's an obvious one. But in addition to that, it's got 6 presets, and they're according to the time of day. So I've gone lighter with bright, cool blue. And basically, if we look at that, they've adjusted the temperature and the brightness to be bright. Temperature is down about a third, and the brightness is about half. And the next one is cozy. Next one is cozy candlelight, and that's a bit more subtle. That's not a blaring light by any stretch of the imagination. It is a good light to have. And just a minute, I'm just sorting out my iPad. Okay, we're back. And then there are 6 presets set by Logitech, and you can go between them. This is another one of mine. This is one of my favorites. This is cozy candlelight. Well, and finally, if I go here, you can set your own presets up. Now, if I go there, okay, that's bright warm with candlelight, and I go here, and this is my preset, and I can adjust the temperature up and down. I can adjust the brightness up and down, and it is control of the light, and it is so simple and straightforward to use. Just install it. Logitech G Hub, used by millions of gamers around the world. The Logitech Litra Glow light is now part of the software, and you just go to the light and you can control it. Okay, and there's just one of them on top of my BenQ monitor, which is down the carousel. Okay, and thank you to Jim. And Jim said of the light, okay, yes, I use the Ultra Glow light and love that product, Stephen. It adjusts the skin tones and takes shadows out of my eyes under the brim of my hat. Also, the Ultra Glow reduces or eliminates virtual background bleeding when I use it. Thank you, Jim. Okay, and if I go here, just give me a second. I've got something on my screen. I want to say, Isabel, a big thank you. If I go here, I should have in my list. I said earlier, if you enjoy a broadcast, not just mine, if you enjoy a broadcast, then please do follow people. And Isabel G has followed me. How rhymed. Brilliant. Okay, so Isabel, thank you very much for the follow. And I look forward to seeing you on future broadcasts. If you go to the following tab up above, you'll always be able to find me. It's like building your own Amazon Live TV guide. And it's a great place to go, and it does help me. So thank you for the follow. If you are enjoying my broadcast, or if you're enjoying any broadcast and you want to say thank you for the help and information that's been provided, just press the follow button. Now, we don't get your details. They're kept by Amazon, and you can find us anywhere, find us anytime under the following button, and it helps us. In Amazon's eyes, if our follower numbers are going up, then we're doing well. Okay, so thank you everybody for actually following, and especially Isabel, who has actually followed on Amazon Live. Right. Okay. Next, we're going to zoom back in the carousel because we took that was a purposeful detour because Jim Ziegler in Atlanta mentioned the Logitech Litra Glow, and it's a beautiful light, and a lot of my friends have actually bought it, and I've sold a lot, or a lot have been bought after my broadcasts on Amazon. If you look at the alternatives cost hundreds of dollars, whereas the Litra Glow is, if I go here, Litra Glow is $59.99. Okay, now hopefully my sound is on. Can I just check something for a moment? Just indulge me for a moment. Let's go here. And as you know, I'm actually live on Facebook too. And I just want to do something to make sure that I can be heard. Facebook too. Yes. I just want to do. Right. You can hear me, which is good. It helps. Yeah. Sometimes when I play a video, the sound disappears. So I'm just glad that it's working. But that's done. So if you are enjoying broadcasting Amazon Live, then please do consider pressing the following button. Okay. Doesn't cost a thing, and it's basically a way of saying thank you. Right. Okay. Now the next item we're going to go on to is I just need to set it up in my carousel here. Just a minute. I need to go right back to the beginning. So we're just setting things up. If you've got any questions about broadcasting live, please ask. If you've got any question about anything in the carousel, please ask. I own about 75% of the items in the carousel and use them on a regular basis. I'm actually waiting for an Amazon delivery. Don't you just love when an Amazon parcel is due to arrive and they track it for you and you show you where it is and they say it's 5 stops away and magically you're ready to receive the package and then you can unwrap it and it's all new. And yeah, Amazon is a great company and I am proud to be on Amazon Live, and I just want to bring this on screen. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about, I'm going to hide the software. The next thing we're going to talk about is the OBSBot. And the OBSBot 4K is down in the carousel. It's a tiny 4K. This, like the Brio, is a 4K camera, which means you can broadcast to YouTube in 4K. Remember, get restart your machine, load OBS, add the camera, set your destination to YouTube, and resolution to 4K, and you can broadcast in 4K. Simple as that. So if I go here and we go to the OBSBot 4K, those who've been watching for a few moments will know that I actually write everything down so I don't forget anything. I'm going to give you a practical demonstration. Two things I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a practical demonstration of what the OBSBot can do. And also, in addition to that, I'm actually going to compare the OBSBot with the Brio. So let's switch the Brio off. Okay, and I'm going to bring the OBSBot full screen and then bring the OBSBot camera. So this is the OBSBot camera. I'm going to go side by side. Just give me a second. I just want to change something. And this will work. I know it will work. I'm going to go classic. Oh, wait a minute. My studio. Right. Okay, my studio's got confused. Okay. And on the OBSBot, I'm going to go here. Okay, so you got me on the left-hand side of the screen, and I am broadcasting using the OBSBot. Now, I've got two OBSBots, basically because I was so impressed by the quality of the build of the first one that when they brought a 4K camera out, I got one straight away, and this is it. This is the OBSBot Tiny PTZ 4K. Now, as I say, I'm going to tell you about it, and I'm going to show you what it can do. We'll put it through its paces. It has got AI-powered framing and autofocus. It is a 4K video conference camera. I'll talk about that in a moment. It's got dual omnidirectional microphones, so you get not just getting a camera, you're getting two microphones. It's got auto tracking with a 2-axis gimbal. If I go here, just a minute, I'm going to go here. Okay, this is what the OBSBot actually looks like. Okay, it's a USB-C connection. You can put it onto a tripod. You've got the lens at the top, you've got the 2-axis gimbal there, and then you've got the body underneath. That's the way the camera is built. I've got one on the tripod. I've got the one that you're looking at now is actually up on my monitor. Come back to me. Okay. So it's got low light correction. If I switch my light off, then it will compensate. Yeah, so it's actually compensating for the fact that I have no light and you can still see me. But if I switch the light back on, the Logitech Litra Glow light we looked at a moment ago, That's the only thing I haven't got any lights on the office. That's the only light that's lighting me. Then low light correction works. It's got magical gestures controls. If I go like this, the other spot will follow me. If I go like this, the other spot will stop following me. If I go like that, the other spot will zoom in. If I go like that, the other spot will zoom out. Now, the other spot has got 4 times zoom, and I'm going to show you that in a second. It's got dual omnidirectional microphones with noise reduction. Now, this is noise reduction, not noise cancellation. The first feature that makes the HubSpot different from every other camera is it's got 3 presets. So if I'm using the software, I can actually go here and I can go out into the garden. Okay, so this is my garden view, and we're looking across neighbours' gardens. It's pretty sunny out there. There's a bit of a breeze blowing. Just a minute, I just want to make an adjustment on my mobile phone. And that's okay, that's better. So this is the first preset position, and it's looking out over the garden. Alexa, what is the temperature?
At the moment, it's 20 degrees Celsius.
Right, so
Tonight, you
Alexa, stop.